Hello there, Ecotech here. So here's the deal: sometimes, all you want is a simple, compact, but powerful sound system that just makes watching TV, gaming, or even just playing music from your phone feel way better than your built-in TV speakers. And that's exactly what the Saiyin Sound Bar with Subwoofer is trying to do. It's a 2.1 channel setup with a dedicated subwoofer, 100 watts of output, multiple connection options, and even some thoughtful design details that make it feel like more than just another budget soundbar. Today, let's talk about what this thing does well, where it might surprise you, and who it's really for. First off, let's start with design. This is a 17-inch soundbar, so it's relatively compact compared to some of the massive bars out there. That actually makes it a good fit for smaller apartments, bedrooms, offices, or gaming setups where you don't want a giant piece of hardware dominating your setup. It's got a sleek black finish, and what I like is that Saiyin has kept the design clean but still added some functional flair. The LED indicator system, for example, doesn't just throw a distracting glowing light in your face. Instead, it's a soft, hidden indicator that changes colors depending on the mode: purple for optical, blue for Bluetooth, green for auxiliary. So you always know exactly what you're connected to without getting blinded while you're watching a movie in a dark room. That's the kind of small touch that you don't realize you appreciate until you use it. But the real focus here is sound, so let's get into that. This is a 2.1 channel setup, which means you've got stereo sound from the bar itself and then a dedicated subwoofer to handle the low end. And that subwoofer is where the magic happens. It's got a 4-inch driver inside, and while it's not going to rattle the walls like a $500 system, it does deliver some surprisingly deep and punchy bass. Saiyin actually calls out that the large cavity design of the subwoofer is meant to make bass more magnetic and full, and honestly, for its size, it delivers. When you're watching a movie with explosions or playing a game with heavy sound effects, that bass adds a whole new layer of immersion that you just don't get from a TV alone. Music also benefits here. It feels fuller and more alive, especially in bass-heavy genres. The soundbar itself does a solid job balancing mids and highs, so dialogue comes through clearly, and you're not missing out on details. And they've built in 3 equalizer modes to fine-tune things depending on what you're watching: news, movies, or music. Switching between them with the remote makes a noticeable difference. For example, in news mode, voices are front and center; in movie mode, you get a more cinematic surround effect, and in music mode, everything just opens up a bit. It's not Dolby Atmos or anything crazy, but it's effective for everyday use. Speaking of the remote, Saiyin includes one in the box, and it's dedicated just to this system. It won't work with universal or TV remotes, but here's a cool thing: the soundbar is actually compatible with Fire TV remotes, which is a big plus if you're in that ecosystem. Roku compatibility is available on request, though it doesn't work with Insignia Roku TVs. Either way, you get options, and that's nice to see on a budget-friendly setup. Now, connections. This is another area where Saiyin didn't cut corners. You've got Bluetooth, auxiliary, and optical connections, all included, and they even throw in both an aux cable and an optical cable in the box. That's rare at this price point, and it means you're basically ready to go right out of the package. Bluetooth works well with phones, tablets, and laptops, with about a 10-meter range. And while the subwoofer itself connects via wired connection, the soundbar handles wireless inputs seamlessly. So if you're someone who likes to quickly play music from your phone or switch between gaming consoles and a PC, this flexibility really pays off. What's also worth pointing out is the volume progress bar right below the soundbar. It gives you a quick visual reference for both the total volume and the bass level. Again, it's a small touch, but it helps you understand where you're at without guessing. The whole system is designed to feel accessible and easy to use, which is kind of the point. You don't want a steep learning curve on your sound system. Unboxing this, you actually get a lot. The package includes the soundbar, the subwoofer, the remote, a user manual, a 3.5mm aux cable, an optical cable, wall mounting brackets with screws, and even some expanded plastic pipes for easier setup. It's kind of refreshing because you don't need to run out and buy extra accessories. Everything's included, which makes the whole experience more plug and play. In terms of performance, look, it's a 100 watts system. So you're not going to get the earth-shattering sound of a premium theater setup, but for the size and price, it's impressive. The frequency response is